Hello and welcome into another episode of Why So Sidious a Nerd Podcast. We are live on YouTube. Joining me today is my co-host David Cochran, and we are covering Stranger Things Volume 5, Chapters 3 and 4. If you have not checked out our coverage of episodes 1 and 2, or chapters 1 and 2, however you like to call it, that is out now, so please go check it out and come back. And of course, we have our weekly Weekend Geeks coming to you live all the time. Fresh news, rumors, trailers, everything you need to know. And don't forget to check us out on social media at WhySoCitySpot on Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. And coming up soon, we'll be doing a new series on this show where I'm going to be doing a little bit of gaming. So never realized how easy it was. You can do it straight from your PlayStation, got a camera, going to use this very same mic, so there'll be no drop in audio quality. And we're going to be kicking off with Ghost of Yote, the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, a game JD and I both loved. So I'm a few hours in, but there's still plenty of time left, plenty of people to kill. So sit back, relax, come join me. Check out our socials when we'll get an update for when that first stream is coming out.
Hell yeah. I'm excited to see how that goes. Excited to see it breaking out the sticks, and probably going to watch along since I got to play that game vicariously through you anyways. So it's perfect.
Right, there you go.
I have to send snaps. I'll just be there.
There you go. All right, well, let's get into this juicy episode. Of course, a spoiler warning if you have not finished the first part of Volume 5. Volume 5, Part 1, Chapters 1 through 4.
Season 5, Volume 1, Chapter, yeah.
But spoiler warning. So quick summary for Episode 3. This is titled The Turnbow Trap. Focuses on the Hawkins crew's risky plan to save Holly and other kids from Vecna by using Derek Turnbow as bait, involving drugging his family, setting up a Demogorgon trap in his house, and tagging the creature to track it back to Vecna's lair, revealing Will's emerging psychic link to Vecna. While Max explores a fractured repellent part of Vecna's mindscape, and Eleven and Hopper face a dangerous wall in the Upside Down. So we'll kick things off with Hopper and Elle in the Upside Down. They're like, I'm surprised how like brutal they are. They're just like immediately they see 11, they start shooting her and like trying to kill her. And it's like, geez, guys, like maybe bring her in unharmed. Shouldn't that be like the task at hand? And this like energy radio wave machine is like blocking her powers. And then there's a cool action scene where Hopper gets up, starts shooting people, shoots down the machine, and then Elle can finally take everyone out. So did you like this kind of back and forth?
Yeah, I know. I kind of thought the same thing. Like, such a child in the military is just rolling up and just started unloading a 50 cal at her. But then I do realize, because I keep having to remind myself, these people think that she is doing everything Vecna is doing. So they think this little girl is literally slaughtering people. Of Hawkins is creating this interdimensional chaos. So with that being said, if it was Vecna and they were rolling up, I'd probably be like, fire. Like, let's start unloading and let's take this freak out.
More.
Whoa. But yeah, so that was my first thought to it. But yeah, they called it a hedgehog, which is this device that it's obviously some type of frequency that hits Elle's psychic powers, and nose starts bleeding. She can't focus. She can't use her powers. So curious to see if this is going to pop up again against Vecna at some point. I would have to imagine it's a
works against all psychic ability.
Yeah. No, I was thinking of a term for writing that I totally forgot. Where you see Chekhov's gun. You see it in the beginning. It's going to come back later for a reason. But yeah, I like it. And we saw before Elle got disabled, her stamina increase. Everything she's done in the past season, she takes out one group and she is tired. But she was cruising around, making these super jumps, going to work. So, yeah.
And then we get the Hopper interrogation scene. And this is one of the guys that saw the helicopter attack last season when Elle just wipes it out. So that's also why they think she's crazy. They've actually seen her do some things, not just Dr. K telling them. Right. But it's really cool how they're like, in the last scene, you see them, they're kind of arguing with each other about what they're going to do. And then it kind of cuts forward. And then they're working together, though, where Elle is inside his head while he's interrogating him, which is really cool. And so she like goes through his memories and tries to see what's behind the door at the base.
Mhm. Yeah, it's nice when Hopper would just let her do her thing. Like, she's a superpowered being, stop being her fake dad, and just let her help. Like, she has more skills than anybody out here, stop being overprotective, and obviously, it's a part of the plot here, and they work through it by the end of this volume a bit. But I was getting a little annoyed until it was just refreshing, him letting her do that and do the mental
Right.
walk soldier. She starts walking through his memories. We learn about the base and the upside down. Dr. K wants 11, which is Linda Hamilton in her goofy wig. The only thing I noticed during the scene was she's in his head and he's freaking out. He says, "Get the freak out, man." I was like, can you not drop the F-bomb in Stranger Things? This is TVMA, isn't it? Like,
Right.
but
You're allowed one at least.
well, yeah, at least one if it's TV 14, but I'm kind of curious what the rating is. It's pretty violent deaths, I would have to imagine.
Yeah, it's TVMA because my sister watches it with her kid, and she's like, "Oh, this season's TVMA. Like, is it still okay to watch?" And I was like, "If you've seen the rest of the show, it should be fine, you know."
Well, yeah, if you're here by now, season 3
Right.
had some pretty gnarly stuff, so yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the main crew that we pick up with Hopper and Elle more in the next episode. Did you have anything else on them?
No, other than the fact that they think the kryptonite is beyond this wall, and they think Vecna, they think the military is holding Vecna, and which as soon as they said that, I was like, "There's no way. There's no way Vecna is locked down in this base." So, yeah, that was the only other thought I had.
Right.
Oh, sorry. We do have somebody in the chat, King Sex, with a quick question. Thank you for joining us. I may have jumped the gun. I should have waited for your question to come in first, so you better start typing a little quicker. Just kidding. No pressure.
Let's go to the main crew up on in the real world, the right side up. Well, partially. So Mike's plan, of course, another one of their, "Oh, I hope this plan works out. We'll see if it does."
Oh, look at that. It did.
So they're going to track it like they did Hopper. They track the Demogorgon like they did Hopper in the upside down once it, crosses back over. They get Erica involved, of course, to drug his family, and then they're going to trap it and track it, basically. Will and Robin have another nice scene where, Robin's basically like, you got to be your true self and don't hide it anymore. The funny memes have been coming out about that after episode 4. And we do get a montage, Murray's shipment for Dustin, and then he's like drilling the hole in the beamer while Nancy's making the bullets with the trackers inside. So just another classic 80s montage to get us ready for the fight.
Yeah. I did like Will had a moment at the start of the episode with his mom where he basically just told her off, like, "Stop telling me to play it safe. There's interdimensional beings ripping through the fabric of reality. Like, stop trying to protect me," kind of deal, which was nice because again, it just gets super annoying. So it was nice she kind of took that to heart. And even Jonathan was like, "Are you good with just kidnapping a child, Mom?" She's like, "It's not the time to play it safe, Jonathan." It's like, "Oh yeah, George."
Let's go. She's always down.
Yeah, this whole plan's funny. I don't know. It's weird seeing Erica and Mr. Clark's class in this season, where the kids were in season 1 and 2, and it feels like that was like 15 years ago, and now Erica's in that same exact grade they were in. It's odd.
It is weird. She's a cool character, though. I do like her sassiness. We get the Home Alone setup at Derek's house, very Home Alone-esque, where they're setting up all these traps and different things around the house. And they also they cut a hole in the floor. Like, these people might need to live in their house again. I know you're trying to do this whole thing, but their house is destroyed.
I mean, they're throwing fire bombs and firing shotguns.
Yeah. And I mean, do we ever see his parents again? I feel like they're tied up at that barn for a pretty long time. So maybe we'll check back in with them in volume 2. Hopefully Dave comes back here soon.
One never knows.
Oh, there he is. Ominous presence.
Those bastards in the chat got me, by the way. Anyways.
Yeah, so they tie him and his parents up at the barn. And oh no, so how'd you like this whole scene inside the house? Was that episode 4?
No, that was episode 3. No, it wasn't. I think that was episode 4. But hold on. Now you're throwing me off. I don't know. When they set up they were setting up the traps in episode 3 for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, and then they go tie up the kids, and then they're supposed to come
Right.
back. Parent, yeah, right. But the kid wakes up, so Vecna knows immediately where they are when the kid starts to, gets a little groggy and wakes up. So their plan changes a little bit.
Right, because he sees where they are, the location there. And
Mhm.
this Derek kid is just obviously a future Hall of Fame running back because he's just running through fully grown adults and stuff as a 10-year-old or whatever the case is. But seemed pretty hard to pin down that one kid for them.
The big boy.
I mean, he's a big boy.
All right, anything else on that part before we move on to Holly real fast?
No, I mean, it was a classic montage. It came together. It was the most perfect plan possible. The way everything rolled out was literally exactly perfect, the way that whole house trap setup went. So, I mean, it just felt like a bigger nod to season 1 when Nancy and Jonathan are setting up the traps, and it was just a bigger scale of it.
That's true.
Yeah. Episode 3 was fine, but yeah, there wasn't a lot in this episode, at least, that really was amazing.
Yeah. And not a ton of Holly. Holly kind of wakes up in Henry's childhood home, and he leaves like the X on the map to come find her. And she's definitely still doesn't know his true intentions. She's even when, and then you see Max. Max pops up at the end of the episode, and that's how it ends. So
right,
cool
she pops out. I'm sure you've seen the memes and whatnot out there, but it's like the differences between Will's abduction and Holly's abduction. And they do this scene in 21 Jump Street where Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum both take that drug. And one of them's having a horrible trip. He's like, oh my God, we're tripping. This is terrible. And it flashes at Channing Tatum. He's like, this is amazing. I love it. And it's got Holly's name above him. Like she's skipping around, baking cookies, getting toys and stuff in this super nice house. And Will was just in the cold, hiding, crying, like
trying to survive.
Holly got the better deal of the two. That's for sure. Did you expect Max with this? So we got the shoes and the jeans panning up reveal. Did you expect, obviously at that point, we were getting a character reveal. Did you guess before it showed Max's face who we were going to be looking at here?
I didn't guess it, but I wasn't surprised at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to think, my mind wanted to think Eddie at first, and then it got like halfway up the body. It was like, okay, never mind. Way smaller than Eddie. It's not Eddie.
Right.
But, yeah.
Sadie Sink looks a lot older too. She looks almost grown.
That will happen.
All right. Episode 4. This is titled Sorcerer. This features 11 and Hopper's shocking discovery of Callie, 8, in the Upside Down military base, Vecna's full-blown assault on Hawkins, and the game-changing cliffhanger where Will Byers gains psychic powers. So, back to Ellen Hopper. The military is rounding up kids that could be targets. Like they're just loading them all onto a bus, taking them back to their base because they think 11 is the one kidnapping him. So they're going to use them as bait to track 11 in, which kind of messed up Dr. K. Ellen Hopper gets to the base and they find out the wall is surrounding all of Hawkins. So, and then the military base is right in the middle of all that. That's what they've been thinking this whole time. We get the force jump. How'd you like that force jump over the fence? Anakin-esque.
Yeah, it looked good. That was fine.
Yeah. Little crouching tiger, hidden dragon.
I'm wondering if that 7-second waiting time is going to come down. Like, why is there massive thunder strikes every seconds in this upside down area? I'm curious.
Right. I will say Elle and Hop make a good team when they're on the same page because they like to fuck people up. Like they're both down to just kill people. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
so they do make a good team. I'll say that they take out everybody on their way in. Basically, once they get inside, that hedgehog, is that what you called it? A warthog, hedgehog?
They called it a hedgehog. Yeah,
hedgehog. Knocks out 11 again. Hopper's getting choked by a
tentacle
Demogorgon
monster?
tentacle,
I
like
don't
a
know.
demi octopus thing.
It is another monster. I guess we're gonna get a few more monsters in the Upside Down. There's one. I'm curious if we're gonna see more, but yeah, I don't know what that thing was.
And he lowers the temperature like at the last second to free himself because the cold slows it down.
So it's connected to the mind flare because the mind flare hates the warm too and has to be cold, and that thing was
Uh,
being stopped by the warmth. So there is absolutely a connection there.
and then how'd you feel about Hopper just strapping himself up with bombs as like a failsafe? Seemed a little irrational.
Yeah, I don't know. He just obviously wants to die and protect Elle, and the biggest thing is he can't lose anybody else. Like, he mentally cannot handle losing anybody else he loves. So this is his fix. Well, I'm not going to lose her, but at the very least, I can kill myself to stop this and save her. So yeah, he felt a little eager to kill himself. And it was a nice speech. He says, "I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you become. I love you, Jane," as he goes out of there. So it was a sweet little moment. We already got his letter that he wrote to her at the end of season 3. So we're getting a couple of these fake out sacrifice moments with Elle and Hopper. Yeah, I thought it was probably a little too much, a little derived drama.
I don't remember exactly what happened, but nothing really happens once he straps the bombs on, right? Don't they just like walk right in?
He goes in because they think they're at the room where Vecna is locked down. And he
Right.
goes, "You get out of here. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to blow this whole thing and take him down with me." And Elle's in the room when he leaves, and he just comes back. And
Right.
he's back
And he's
at the
like,
door or
he's
something.
like, no, wait, come
Go
here.
look. Yeah, he says go or something. And we get the major reveal there.
She's still a part of the show.
I'm relieved just because, like, if she wasn't, what the hell was all that about? You know?
No, it makes sense.
And if for those of you out there, for some reason you still don't know what we're talking about Callie, or number 8, is locked down by the military. Yes, her sister from season 2 when they went on that side quest to Detroit. Super random that everybody really liked. But yeah, I figured there was no way she couldn't come back at some point. You don't just do that for no reason. And I know the Duffers have had some delays, but I felt like they had to have had a plan for bringing Callie in another. I don't know how she's going to be used though. So, what's your thoughts on that? Because I don't think her reality bending illusion powers are going to work with Vecna. So maybe she uses it against the military and those kind of scuffles, but I don't see her being able to out Vecna, who is the illusion king,
right?
Like,
or even the Demigorgon. You can't really like fake
what are you going to do that there? Right. Well, it's a hive mind. So if you were to do one Demogorgon, wouldn't all of them be stuck in this illusion? And I don't know you're that powerful to do that. So what are your thoughts? Do you think she's going to be used in a significant way?
Well, do you think they just immediately free her and leave together? Do you think
For sure?
I
think volume 2 is going to have Dustin, 11, Will, and 8 combining forces.
Wow.
Actually, in Stranger Things fashion, they probably wait till episode 8 to have them be on the screen at the same time. Now that I think about it, they don't let us have those power-ups.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think? What's your theory on number 8?
I think she's utilized in a way. Man, there's a couple theories out there with this, and that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this episode so soon without time going by, because how did the military find her? And what's the reasoning for them capturing? And are they using her? She is tied down and strapped to this lockdown room. So had they been already stealing or utilizing her powers in some way? Are they using it to take down 11 because they think 11 is the big bad, not Vecna? So I think she's going to be used against the military in a lot of scenes, but I just don't see how she can be used against Vecna. I think she's going to die for sure. And Elle's going to be very heartbroken, crouching over her body. But yeah, have you heard the theories about why Vecna wants all these children? It's the Darth Vader theory. So there's big theory going out there that Vecna is very misunderstood. Noah Schnapp had an interview. They asked him who is the most misunderstood villain in cinema or whatever, and he said low-key Vecna, and Millie stopped him and was like, nope, don't say anymore. So people took off with that about, okay, so do we not know something about Vecna? Other people are waiting for the Darth Vader aspect. They think Vecna is the 5-star general of the Mind Flayer, like Dustin said in that season. He said, if the Mind Flayer is the king, then Vecna is his 5-star general. So people out there believe that Vecna is actually trying to rebel against the Mind Flayer and is taking these kids in order to utilize them to strengthen himself and to be able to take down the Mind Flayer at the end of all of this. And the other theory to that is that's why he came in and activated Will and then just left him alive and walked off. So there's a lot of theories out there that they are expecting Vecna to have a Darth Vader redemption end to this season where he takes down the Mind Flayer. I don't want that. I think him being the big bad should be the way we go, but that is a very strong and momentous theory going out online, is that Vecna's going to have a redemption arc here.
Yeah, I don't love it, but it does kind of make sense. We'll see if they can actually portray it well.
And it makes sense because of that whole first shadow thing, which we talked about last episode. But we learned that Henry had an interaction with the Mind Flayer as a kid, and that the Mind Flayer has been manipulating him since he was a child, which is why he killed his family and all that stuff. So exactly, it's a Palpatine scenario. So is he finally rebelling? You know, I don't know. But I would like him to stay as our main bad. But I see the theory. You know, I see the legwork.
Right, you could have explained that to Elle or Will once, though. Like, hey, we're on the same side here.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to help here.
Right.
And he keeps saying, I'm going to create a beautiful world and I need you to do it, yada, yada, yada. But that is it's a strong theory out there with that. So maybe he wants to use 8 for that too.
So do you think Dr. K really believes 11 is doing this? Or do you think has like secret intentions, like to use her in a way? You know what I mean?
She's definitely got secrets. She's definitely not being upfront about everything and her motivations here. Part of me just thinks she doesn't care if she's right or not. She just wants to kill 11 and wrap this thing up.
Right.
I don't think she's gonna like have a connection to Vecna or anything, but
no, yeah.
I don't believe her motives, and there's definitely going to be some reveal about her. Because who the hell is this lady? You know, like, is this just a cheaper Dr. Brenner replacement for this final season? There's got to be a reason. And you cast Linda Hamilton, who obviously doesn't have this massive filmography list, but she's very well known from Terminator. Very, 80s star, which was a perfect little nod for a cast here. I think there's got to be a secret behind Kay's involvement here.
Stay tuned. So we do get a lot more Max and Holly stuff in this episode. Max seems aware of what's going on. You know, she's a vet by now. She's been in there, stuck in Henry's prison for a while. At first, she was sent to Hawkins' lab right after the massacre. She's going through all of Henry's memories, even though, well, I guess he was kind of there for that part. Well, he killed everyone, so I guess he would remember that. And then she's sent to 1959, and Joyce has a flyer for the school play, which is the first shadow play, right? So they do like not the first shadow play, but like there's like a school play in the first shadow play with young Henry Krill and Joyce and all those people. So yeah, that's a kind of a little subtle nod to the play, I guess.
Which is wild to think that Joyce knew Vecna growing up. Like, what?
That's crazy.
That is a trip. Yeah, you see Harrington's dad. You better come, Harrington, Friday night. Yeah, right. You know, classic jock in the 50s and 60s there. But that was a fun little throwback scene choice there. Yeah.
And then go ahead.
Yeah. I was just gonna say they used Winona Ryder's voice for that scene. You could tell it was her, a young, like modified Winona Ryder voice.
She's going through the memories, and then she kind of gets to the end where Lucas is playing the music for her, Kate Bush, running up that hill in the hospital bed. You know, there's like that vision bubble going on outside there. She's starting to run to it, and then the tape runs out, of course, which totally screws her over. And she's like, no, like, don't turn it off. And Vecna gets inside of her head, shows her all the bad memories instead. So she's still trapped for now. But she's definitely going to be using Holly because that's where she's hiding in this cave now because Henry is just terrified to go inside of it. What are you thinking about that cave? Is it a dark memory from Henry's past outside of his childhood home?
Yeah. So with that first shadow thing, the description of where he got accidentally teleported to Dimension X was this cave system. I think that is the memory of him being possessed by the Mind Flayer, whatever the case is. But him standing there, I got some Pennywise vibes from Jamie Campbell, the way he was standing there at the cave thing. And she was like, it was a different look I've ever seen on him. He looked terrified. It looked like fear, but he looked like Pennywise to me. The way it was creepy, the way he was staring in that cave there. But I don't know. I don't know how interested I am at this point with the Max and the cave storyline of this all, if I'm being honest.
It got more interesting this episode for sure.
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird, the whole setup of it, where they're trapped in his mind and you can go through all the memories, and then it ends at this childhood home where you're like trapped in this prison, I guess what they called it. It's a weird concept.
I can't follow it. She goes from memories to then she's in the upside down portion of some areas and running through the upside down, and then she's back in the memory and then the red area. I can't keep up with exactly how she's getting. I just kind of had to turn my mind off for that one.
Yeah, a little suspension of disbelief.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back to the main crew. Honestly, dipshit Derek, not a big fan of this kid. Just loud mouth, always saying crazy stuff. Are you a fan of Derek? Did he grow on you at all, or you just want this kid to shut up?
He's fine, I guess. I mean, I see what they're doing with him. I don't care. I mean, he was a little annoying at first. He had some funny moments there. I don't know that he's going to be an endearing character for me, but I know he's definitely been a fan favorite for a lot of people.
Yeah, they call him Delightful
Suck
Derek.
his big one. Yeah. Suck my big one. Jesus, what?
It was pretty cool, the scene where Steve drives the car through the portal to chase the Demogorgon as it's closing. That was pretty intense.
It's a classic Steve move.
Right. Will starts painting on the door. He's going all schizo again. Paints a little scene on the barn door. And then he sees Holly and 3 others captured in Vecna's lair in the Upside Down. There's empty spots for 8 more. I didn't notice that at first. I saw that later. There's 8 more empty spots, so who knows?
Yeah.
And he's basically now been able to tap into the control center so he can see through Vecna, see through the Demogorgons. You know what I mean?
God, sorry. My brain just hit a wall. What did you just say right before that?
The empty spots?
Yes, the empty spots. So it looks like we've got a number of 12, which Vecna has had this obsession with clocks, which obviously have the 12 positions there. We had the 4 gates opening. Vecna is very numerical when it comes to stuff. So the 12 kids is going to be significant. I'm just not sure exactly what the reason is there again.
Lucas, Mike, Will, Erica, Dustin, Jonathan, Nancy, Steve? Or maybe you take L out of there and add someone else. Derek? That'd be 8.
No, I don't think. Well, no, I don't think they're taking Steve and all that. I think it's still he's trying to get all those kids that were on that list.
Right.
One of the ones that, which by the way, yeah, I'm an idiot, man. It wasn't young Will. They didn't time travel, and it wasn't Will from season 1 who came out of a portal and was running alongside the group. I get it, bro. I was wrong. All right. I don't know who that kid was. It wasn't Will. Get better at casting diversity. It looked exactly like Will. Get him a different jacket. Son of a. You look like an idiot.
It was a good theory.
Hey, thanks.
And we get to the Tom, Dick, and Harry, another one of our crazy plans about this old TV show or something she used to watch.
Yeah. I don't know. That was another forced humor kind of deal there. It was The Great Escape or The Great Rescue. I forget what it is. Tom, Dick, and Harry. Yeah. It's a classic story there. But yeah, there was just like a bit over the top with their forced jokes.
Mm-hmm. So they send Derek into the kid camp to save the ones that are seeing Mr. What's-It. So he's got to go around, recruit the kids that have seen Mr. What's-It and get them out of there. And they dig a hole up through the ground and are starting to, bring the kids down. And it was pretty funny when the girl sees the boy's head poking out underneath the toilet and runs around. The water leak didn't help too. So there were a couple things that went wrong, I guess.
That it was just a classic Stranger Things scene. Like, it's just suspension of disbelief to the max. Like, okay, so you've got 2 sergeants in this barracks and you're telling me they're not noticing the line of kids going out, water's flooding, there's a bunch of yelling. It took those military, it took them so long to realize that kids were being stolen from the barracks they were watching. It was very ridiculous. It was a ridiculous scene for me, and you kind of just had to look past it.
Once again,
it was fine, I guess.
But they do get caught. Joyce gets arrested. Mike, John, Will, Derek, and then we see that the Demigorgon is on the way, and this is where absolute chaos breaks out. I did like the shaky first-person camera they were doing, kind of a one take following them trying to make the escape. That was a cool little way they did it. I feel like it was like a good couple minutes of doing no. I mean, there were takes. They like used creative ways to do takes, but they made it look like it was one solid take.
There was a 89-second one shot in the Max D attack, so they did that a few times. It was shot really well, especially the stuff with the Demogorgons. I like the views we're doing from Will's perspective, seeing the Demogorgons. So we kind of skipped over it, but before this, that Demogorgon was about to kill Joyce when they were kidnapping Derek in that barn. And Will is watching this from the view of the Demogorgon running up on Joyce as she's swinging the shovel, I think it was, or something.
Yeah.
And I was positive that we were going to have Will experience himself eating his mom or killing his mom, like having to see it from the Demogorgon's point of view, killing his mom. And I'm thinking, how traumatic would that be? Because what he says, he feels it. He can see everything they're doing. Like he's feeling it, like he's the one doing it.
He feels the pain.
Can you imagine if he was the one to just kill his mom? Like I was 100% set that was going to happen.
Did he like restrain the Demogorgon, do you think? Or what do you think there?
Yeah, I think that was part of it. I think it was, and I kind of caught on to it at that point because he was straining so much, and then it kind of stopped and it heard something and took off. And I did actually think at that point, I wonder if that was connected to Will, because he wanted so bad for the Demogorgon to not do it and was in the hive mind that maybe he was able to get it out of there. But yeah, no, I love the way it was shot for this whole Max Z attack and the close-ups, and it made it feel that much more chaotic, and terrifying.
Yeah. Oh no, this is when Vecna comes. Vecna walks through.
Right. Yeah. No, I was talking about the barn thing when he first
right.
But then now we're at the Max Z where this whole attack's going on, and that was where that 80-second one shot was too, going through the soldiers. It was crazy. It was a fun watch. That on the big screen would have been fun in theaters, seeing that whole 20-minute scene play out.
Yeah. So Vecna has a new fit and moves. He's on Ozempic, is what the internet's saying. Definitely got a little fitter, got some like horns and stuff.
So what was your thought on it? Because it's obviously a very big change in his appearance, and there were mixed reviews on it. What did you think about Vecna 2.0?
I mean, he looks cooler. He looks more badass, but I did kind of like the zombie way. He had like a bloated stomach in a way, or it was kind of like he was like
in last season 4 he kind of had a beer gut. Yeah,
like he was like deformed, or like what's wrong, like when a dead person's in the ground for a while, what's that called?
Oh, well, you go into rigor mortis, you rot.
You know what I mean? Decay. He's decaying. Like his body was decaying a little bit, and now he's more like, he looks like a Skyrim soldier or something with the armor on and the horns and stuff. What'd you think?
So I actually, at first I was like this, we always have to do a different look for toys or whatever the case is, but it actually makes sense the more I thought about it. He got annihilated at the end of last season, and he did, like you said, he had flesh. Vecna in season 4, it was flesh. He was torn up for sure, but he was still a fleshy body. He got burned, lit on fire, blasted with a shotgun 3 or 4 times. So I was paying attention more. He barely has arms. You see his skeletons, and then it's vines that are wrapping around it to reinforce all the flesh he lost. So his stomach, if you look closely, there's no gut anymore. It's just like the group branches and like his insides that are burned. His face is now black, burnt where those Molotov cocktails hit him in the face, and now he has roots growing over those areas. So at first I didn't like it, and I actually love it now because I feel like it makes sense. He got annihilated, and this is the way of the upside down has regrown and protected his body.
Makes sense.
And he does look way more intimidating, and he's obviously been watching Game of Thrones because that man dropped the Night King move on us. Just the slow raises his arms to bring them up and revive them. I was like, okay, you totally took Night King's move there.
It was cool when he pulled the pins on the grenades of the soldiers. Like
he was angry, bro. Like when he threw them, he was like, like he was pissed in the fire. They hit him with the flamethrower and he catches it and fires. He was yelling. Like Vecna was not not having it in this scene. He was way more aggressive, and yeah, it was brutal. It was
He
good.
gently yeeted Joyce though. He like kind of
carefully.
Yeah, like, oh, you know, I can't piss off Will too bad yet. Okay.
Yeah. Your son means a lot to me, and I'd hate to have him be disappointed in my actions. So I'm just going to scoot you out of the side here. Well, the Demogorgons are terrifying too. They were playing catch with the soldiers, throwing it one soldier all the way across the field to the other Demogorgon, spikes it into the ground and stuff.
This
so
like, oh recreated the LeBron D Wade meme.
It did.
Alley-oop.
Got chemistry, man. That's what happens. Yeah. Hive mind. You got to be on point.
And all the kids get taken. So this could be where the 8 spots are filled up. And then Vecna confronts Will and he says, "And you, Will, were the first. You broke so easily. You showed me what was possible. Some minds, it turns out, simply do not belong in this world. They belong in mine." Pretty creepy.
Pretty creepy. And this comes after Mike had that whole, which, sorry, I spoiled this last episode, but he's talking to Will about, you experience the Demogorgon thing. Well, you tap in the hive mind, what if you tap back into it, and basically theorizes he can control the Demogorgons. And then Vecna comes in, walks in here, tells him this. So JD and I were briefly talking about it. It felt like he activated him. Like, why else did he walk out of the Upside Down, kill the soldiers, touch Will on the head, and then just leave Will there? It felt like he activated that he unlocked his full potential or something, and then left him there to discover it. Because didn't Will kill the Demogorgons after Vecna walked out of the portal? So Vecna just left them alive and dipped. And so he has to know that Will has that ability. I don't think Vecna is going to be surprised that Will is able to do that. I don't know. I feel like he's got a plan.
Yeah, Vecna tells Will that the children are perfect vessels to reshape the world. So he's got he definitely has a plan involved here, and Will is a major piece of it. Do you think Will's more powerful than El?
No, I think El's the chosen one, but I think Will has a different set. And I think there's going to be portions where Will is more useful because he's able to tap into the hive mind of Vecna. He's connected to Vecna less than El is. But I don't think Will's going to be more powerful. I mean, that is a pretty crazy skill that he unveiled in this episode. So I can see El doing that.
It kind of gave me stronger. It gave me Game of Thrones vibes again with if you think El was Jon Snow and then Will is Arya Stark.
Yeah,
she comes in at the end and kills the Night King with her powers.
He's Arya and Bran. He's a little bit of Bran with those wide eyes and controlling these monsters. I wanted to ask 2 things real quick. Did you get the Darth Vader vibes from Vecna walking through the portal? Because
they said they did.
Yeah. They said they were aiming for that, but I didn't get that.
No.
Yeah, I don't think they nailed that one.
What about the Harry Potter Voldemort vibe? You seen the side-by-side images of like Voldemort and Harry with the exact same like face-to-face scene as Vecna and Will?
No, I didn't, but I do recall that shot. So I think I know what you're talking about there.
It's kind of the same thing where like Harry is Voldemort's chosen one in a way. He's one of the Horcruxes, so there's some definitely vibes from Harry Potter.
And he needs him in a way to achieve what he's trying to do with the same thing here. So I got to ask, again, Mike theorized it. And so we started wondering, did you expect this coming from Will, this unveiling of his new powers here?
Not to that extent. I thought maybe he could like really just like control a Demogorgon and have it go, fight all the other Demogorgons or something, but not psychic ability. Did you?
Bro, no, not to that extent. Well, remember when I said I got something spoiled for me 15 minutes before I turned on chapter 4? I said, unbelievable, YouTube Shorts just spoiled a massive thing for me. And to me, it was like, I don't see how all that's going to get unveiled in one episode unless they just spoiled volume 2 for me. But it was Vecna is going to stand no chance against 8, 11, and Will. And I was like, what the fuck? What does that mean? Crap. What the hell? So I went and watched it, and now, it's like, okay, well. So in that regard, I was kind of waiting for some kind of reveal, but I thought he was just going to somehow have psychic powers. I didn't think he was going to control the Demogorgons and be able to snap their bones like he did. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah. I think he might be more powerful than L.
It might be. I mean, they are building it up as kind of this unseen chosen one who rises above. And
He could be
again,
the chosen one if he was the one taken in season 1, really.
yeah, Vecna took him for a reason. He said he chose him because he was going to create beautiful things with him, and it was specific. And I think what he told him in that episode about the reason why he chose him was he was so weak. I think he's kind of like messing with him or something.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing about that, before Will unlocks that power, he's got those memories. So we get a quick memory montage of young Will and his childhood memories. And if you pay attention, it's the same stuff from season 2 when Will is locked in the cabin and the mind flayer is trying to see through him, and Jonathan and Joyce are talking to him about their memories, trying to wake up Will. Every single little slideshow we had there were those memories.
Wasn't there a Mike one too?
Because Mike said he talked to Will during that scene too and said, you were the only one I saw on the playground, blah blah blah. And we see the first time they meet. We see Castle Byers being built. We see him drawing that rocket ship that Joyce legitimately described, the colorful rocket ship with all his crayons. So it's every one of those. So that was a cool tie back.
I like that.
Seasons back. Yeah.
Well, I heard a theory. If we're going theory time,
happen to know.
Jonathan has that cassette tape with the engagement ring in it, right? You hear about this?
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
What if he gets taken by Vecna and Nancy needs to play his favorite song to save him, and she opens it and sees an engagement ring?
Sees that. Yep. So I've seen that, and then I've also thought of the fact, what if Nancy is the one who gets, puppeteered by Vecna, and Jonathan has to play the song to awaken her, and he ends up. This was the other theory, and I thought this one was weaker. And he puts the wedding ring on her finger and playing the music to like wake her up out of it. I was like, it would be crazy if she went to save Jonathan and comes across that. Like that's a wild mental moment to be going through. So I like that theory better.
Just down on one
another
knee
Chekhov's gun though.
Yeah,
like the ring's coming. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But he's down on one knee while she's levitating in the air. Nancy, will you marry me? She's like, yes.
I'm gonna need an answer. Can you come down? I'm talking to you.
Rude. Okay, we got any other theories going into volume 2 before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I've got theories. As far as talk about that episode, I don't think I had anything else. Yeah, we're talking about Jonathan, the gates. It's interesting how Demogorgons just rip open portals wherever they want to now. I think that's because the 4 gates were opened last season, right. And so now they have a different access level to it all. But I mean, yeah, I got some theories. So one here, a couple of them. What if Vecna is really Will's father? And we learned that Henry Creel actually hooked up with Joyce Byers. No, I don't know how that would work. Or Eleven's father. What if it's revealed that Vecna is, because they found out about all these kids in the lab. They were like artificially inseminated by Dr. Brenner using this. So what if he used Henry's DNA to artificially inseminate, and we find out that he's actually biologically Eleven's father? I feel like that's a very good possibility.
That makes sense if he's number 1.
But the Will thing it'd go back to that Darth Vader theory everybody's saying. Literally an I am your father moment with Vecna and Will.
Don't do it. Will, I am your father.
We talked about the redemption arc and the Mind Flayer being Palpatine, Vecna being Vader. You know how I said 11 sacrifices herself to close off the Upside Down at the end of this? That's kind of been my theory going into all this. What if Vecna is the one who does it and kills the Mind Flayer and uses the kids to shut the portal or something like that? That's going back to that redemption arc, though, which I'm not actively rooting for.
Right.
The only other cool little thing I had here. So season 4, Erica gets brought into the Hellfire Club to play Dungeons and Dragons. Dustin rolls a 7 or something. No, he rolls an 11 against Eddie's campaign, and Vecna is the one who is the villain in that campaign. It's Vecna. Right. He puts him on there. Dustin rolls an 11, and it wasn't enough. So right there, it's kind of symbolizing 11 herself not being enough to take down Vecna. But also, Erica steps in and rolls a 20 to defeat him at the end of that scene. Now, this is ridiculous, over the top internet Reddit type theories, but What happens when you add 11 and you add 8 and you add 1? 20. 20 to defeat Vecna. 1 is
Jeff
will
Goldblum.
in the mind. 11 is 11. 8 is 8. 8 plus 11 plus 1 equals 20. And you got the end of the season right there. But no, I feel like because of that,
I was going to say, what if Erica rolled an 8? That'd be crazy.
That'd be crazy. But I feel like Erica's going to be important just because of that symbolic rolling the 20 to defeat Vecna in season 4. I feel like she's going to come into play at the end of the season too. I think she's there for a reason.
Oh yeah.
Outside of that, those are pretty much my theories for leading up to it. But like volume 1, what did you think? Did you like these first 4? Or I guess do you have theories too?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Not too many theories. I'm just ready for the next volume.
Did it land?
Yeah, I think it did. I think episode 4 was a good conclusion to the first half of the season. Definitely has me excited. They set a lot up for these last 4 episodes. So I'd probably put it around an 8, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think I gave it a rating as a whole. But it's solid. I think it had a couple slow spots. Episode 2 wasn't great. But I like where they're going with the story here, and they're setting up some crazy stuff. The Will reveal is cool. Will has had a massive redemption arc as far as just being a character that I enjoy watching on screen. I can actually stand him now. But I don't know. I thought volume 1 was a great start to this. It's got me hyped. JD is not here, but he gave us a little statement to read off as well. With the way season started with volume 1. Do I read that? Jeremiah, the flying cosmic light ray, believes the season is on its way to becoming the best season yet. He doesn't love the Holly Max screen time, but we'll see how that pans out. Vecna might be the greatest television villain ever. We'll see how Homelander's story ends. And they really amped up the stakes and spectacle. It feels like it's going to be an incredible conclusion. P.S. High Love. So that was JD's review on volume 1. I don't know if he's going to be the greatest TV villain of all time, but I think, he's on the ballot, I guess. We'd have to start thinking.
That'd be a good list to do.
Yeah, we're going to have to think about that one. There's
villains.
A lot out there. But as far as scale and everything goes, an iconic level of it, yeah. I mean, he's a pretty big character at this point.
Oh, the dog sees something inside.
It's popping off.
Probably a squirrel.
It always is.
Crazy. All right. Well, stay tuned for our coverage of Volume 2 comes out on Christmas with the finale on New Year's Eve. We also have Welcome to Derry. There's only 2 episodes? 1 or 2 episodes left?
2.
The last episode was crazy. And then this next one coming up, it looks like a lot of backstory on Pennywise through Dick Halloran's memory, or so we get like the origin of Pennywise.
You watched episode 6, right?
I did.
With Mrs. Kirsch and everything, and it's Periwinkle. It's getting wild. The last 2 episodes of Welcome to Derry have been my favorite of the season, and it's definitely got me hooked now.
I don't know if we're going to just talk about it for a second. I don't know if I like Pennywise being actually human at one point.
So I don't think he was, and spoiler alerts out there. I think he just saw that people and kids really like this character, and he just killed him and took his form. I think he just thought
like a dark entity.
He was that big. Oh, am I still here?
Yes.
Yeah. He was that super tall, lanky entity.
Dave, you're still here in audio
Hello?
only. Dave,
Hello?
phone in. You're here.
All right. Okay, audio only. But he had that large entity chasing him through the woods. But it wasn't the form of Pennywise at that point. And that was a prequel. And we saw Periwinkle in the background during that time period. So I think Pennywise just saw this clown that all the kids adored and killed him and took his form. So I don't think he was human. I don't think that's a part of the storyline. And this girl just
he's like
his dad. But man,
he's like an alien that crashed in an asteroid, right? Isn't that
right?
That's in the movies,
right?
So yeah, a little weird, but
3 million.
Yes,
we will be covering that
once the show's over, and also Fallout December 17th. That's what, 2 weekends from now? 2 weeks almost. So yeah, we got a lot coming up. So stay tuned and thank you. We'll see you next time at Why So Sidious, the Nerd Podcast.